Good morning, everyone. Am I audible, students? Students, am I audible? Okay. So start with today's topic, 12th class accountancy, part 3, chapter 4. And we were doing debt equity ratio under solvency ratio. Till now, we have done liquidity ratios, current ratio and liquid ratio. And yesterday I introduced debt equity ratio. So we'll be doing some questions of debt equity ratio. Then we'll go for the today's topic. So yesterday I had given you 3 questions. I'm going to discuss those 3 questions first. Then we'll be doing today's topic. Okay. So compute debt equity ratio from the following information. So you can match your answer. Debt equity ratio, the formula is debt upon equity. Just write in chat whether your answer is correct or not. Debt means only the long-term debts, which includes the long-term borrowings and long-term provisions. Long-term borrowings in this question are a loan from Industrial Finance Corporation at the rate of 8%, which is 20 lakh, 9% bonds, which is 25 lakh, and long-term provisions, 3 lakh. So total long-term debts equal to 48 lakh, and shareholders funds, share capital plus reserve and surplus. So here share capital is given 30 lakh and reserve and surplus is given 10 lakh and SPR is given 2 lakh. So why we will not add SPR here? Yes, Anshika Agarwal is also asking the same question which I am asking to you. Yes, students, any one of you can give me answer in chat. Why we have not taken SPR here? Yes, why we have not taken SPR here? Yes, yes, answers, many answers are coming. Yes, Harshita Sharma, Anmol, yes, very good. Dishang, yes, Harshita and Anmol, you both are correct. Because, Anshika, listen carefully. Because SPR is the part of reserve and surplus. Yes, Parth, you have also given me correct answer. Deepak Sharma. Everyone is giving me correct answer. Reserve and surplus is a whole concept and SPR is a part of reserve and surplus. So whenever we are considering whole concept, then we will be not considering as part concept. Okay, so reserve and surplus is 10 lakh, which means SPR is already included in this reserve and surplus. Yes, Anushka. Yes, Anshika. Am I clear? Yes. So that's why we have not added here. So the shareholder funds are 40 lakh. So debt equity ratio will be 48 lakh upon 40 lakh, which is equal to 1.2:1. So can you people comment on this ratio? This ratio is safe from the lender's point of view or not? Would lenders will be giving more funds to the business or not? Yes. Yes, Toshit. Very good. Anushka Kothari, Harshita Sharma, yes, because it is below 2:1. The ideal ratio is 2:1. So lender's position is safe in the company and they will be granting loan to the company easily. Now the next question, which I had given you in assignment, calculate debt equity ratio from the following. Figures are given: land and building, plant and machinery, intangible assets, inventory, trade receivable, trade payables, long-term borrowings. And in this question, nothing is said about the equity. So by preparing the balance sheet in your working notes to know the hidden figure, you can easily find out the equity. We all know that equity, liability and equity side of the balance sheet is equal to the asset side. So first of all, we will arrange all the assets: land and building 15 lakh, plant and machinery 6 lakh, intangible assets 1 lakh. Inventory 550, trade receivable 170, trade payable is not asset. So till trade receivable, all the 5 figures will be added to get the total assets like this. Total assets. So total assets are 22 lakh. Okay, students. Now put the values of the total asset on the liability side. So total equity and liability will be equal to 22 lakh. Okay, students, 22 lakh. So now what is the liability side total? It contains 3 heads: current liability, non-current liability, and shareholder fund. Current liability is already given here, trade payables 120. Long-term borrowings are also given, 12 lakh. So total liabilities 12 lakh plus 120. So total liability is 13 lakh 20,000. So shareholders fund will be debt equity ratio, or we can say that non-current assets are 22 lakh. One another way can be there. So here we can find out the working capital. Working capital is equal to current assets minus current liabilities. So current assets minus current liabilities. Current assets are 2 in the given question. Which 2? Inventory and trade receivable. These are the current assets. And inventory liabilities are the trade payables. So the working capital is 6 lakh. So non-current liability refers to long-term debts. So 22 lakh plus 6 lakh minus 12 lakh is equal to 16 lakh. So non-current liabilities, or we can say the equity is 16 lakh. Many ways can be there, students, to find out a particular answer. So anyway, by using the balance sheet or by using the any other formula, you can easily find out the hidden figure. So it's up to you which method you are going to use. So the answer is 0.75 is to 1. So the third question, which is the last question, which I had given you, calculate debt equity ratio from the following: total assets, total debt, current liabilities. Total asset, total debt, current liabilities. So to find out, first of all, we have to write the formula, which is debt upon equity. Debt means only the long-term debts. So to find out the long-term debts, which formula we have to use? Total debt minus current liability. So total debt is 260 and current liability 40. So the long-term debt is 220. Now the shareholder funds. Again, shareholder funds means total assets, asset side total minus total debt. Total debt means current as well as non-current. So the equity is equal to 5,50,000. So debt equity, debt upon equity, which is equal to 0.4 is to 1. Tell me, is this answer correct or not? Yes, tell me, students, is this answer correct or not? If not correct, you can ask me from wherever you are not able to understand. Yes. You will, when you will try, only when you will be able to do. Yes, I am waiting for your answer, students. Is it correct or not? If not, you can see the solution and ask your doubts. This is the solution. Or I told you earlier also that it is not necessary that every time you people are using formulas. Just make the format of balance sheet in your working note and find out each and every item, whichever is hidden. Like in balance sheet, asset side, 2 heads are there, non-current asset and current asset. And in liability side, 3 heads are there. Which 3 heads? Shareholder fund, then non-current liability, and then current liability. Okay, students, so easily you can find out the hidden figure. Just place the value of each and every item given in the question and you can easily find out the answer. Next, today's topic is total assets to debt ratio. It is the second ratio under solvency ratio. Yesterday we did debt equity ratio. Listen it carefully. Total assets to debt ratio. Name itself is the formula. In yesterday's topic also, name itself was the formula. Like in yesterday's topic, the formula was debt upon equity. And what was the name of the ratio? Debt equity. It means debt is the numerator and equity is the denominator. Similarly here, the name of the ratio is here total assets to debt ratio. So it will be the formula total asset upon debts. And one more thing I would like to tell you here, that in yesterday's ratio, in yesterday's formula, we find a relationship in between the debt and equity. It means what is the relationship in between debt and equity? It means that out of the total fund invested in the business, how much of the funds are invested by using debt and how much are invested by using equity. And in this ratio, total assets are expressed in relation to long-term debts. It means in this ratio, we'll be able to know that how much of the total assets are purchased by using borrowed funds. How much of the total assets are purchased by using borrowed funds. Okay. So again, the total asset, you know it very well, non-current assets plus current assets. Under non-current assets, tangible assets, intangible assets, non-current investments, all these we have considered. Then current assets plus current assets, all the 6 heads of current assets. For example, current investments, trade receivables, inventory, cash and cash equivalent, short-term loans and advances, and finally the other current assets. Debt again means only the non-current liability, and which has 2 parts, long-term borrowings plus long-term provisions. In long-term borrowings, debentures, bond, mortgage loan, term loan from bank, and public deposits, etc. So this ratio expresses the relationship between total assets and long-term debt. It measures the extent to which long-term debts are covered by assets. Long-term debts are covered by asset. It means if this ratio is higher, means the use of lower debts in financing the assets, which means a larger safety for the lenders. It means higher the ratio is better for lenders, because it means the total assets are many more times than the long-term debts. So if any time long-term debts, business need to pay the long-term debts at the, especially at the time of liquidation of the company, then just by selling the assets, they will be easily able to pay the debts. Suppose normally this ratio is usually expressed as a pure ratio 2:1. Suppose the answer is 2:1, it means total assets are 2 times than the debts. Like total assets are 2 lakh and debts are 1 lakh. So the firm can pay the debts easily, because 2 lakhs of asset margin the debt or debenture holders are having. So their position is safe. So we can say higher the ratio is better for the lender, because the higher ratio provides them more safety margin. So this type of question can come in MCQ. Okay, students. So now I'm going for the numericals. So this is the first numerical and I'm giving you some time to solve it. So simultaneously you can solve it. Till then I'm reading just question. So fixed assets 16 lakh, non-current investments, fixed assets 16 lakh, fixed assets 16 lakh, non-current investment 2 lakh, current assets 7 lakh 60,000, total debts 18 lakh 50,000, trade payables, which is a current liability, 1 lakh 40,000, outstanding expenses 25,000, current liability, bank overdraft, again current liability 85,000. Start solving this. I'm giving you just 2 minutes time. Till then you people can solve it. Then we will be discussing the question. Yes, today's strength is 60 students. Very good students. Because this chapter is very important and this chapter contains 10 marks. Practical as well as board paper. 10 marks. And if you people are leaving any of the class of this chapter, then you will not be able to understand this chapter. Good strength. Keep it up, students. So, first of all, what you have to do? You have to, you can prepare format of balance sheet and keep all these items fast in the format of balance sheet. I don't think in this question you need any format of balance sheet because the total debt is already given to you. Total debt is already given to you and you have to find out the total assets. Total debt is already given and you have to find out the total assets. Yes, Varun Bhatia, very fast. You have given me answer, but I'll be telling you that whether it is correct or incorrect. So I'm waiting for others' answer because total debt is already given 18,50,000. So here we have to find out the total assets. So what we will be doing? Fixed assets plus non-current investments. That will be the non-current asset. Fixed asset plus non-current investment. Now what about the current assets? Current assets are already given. 16 lakh plus 2 lakh, 18 lakh plus 7 lakh 60,000 means 25 lakh 60,000. This is the total assets. Now what about the debt? Debt means only the non-current debt, and here total debt is given. So we have to deduct the current liability from total debt. Many times I have told you that debt means only the non-current debt, non-current liability. But total debt means non-current liability plus current liability. So we have to deduct 1,40,000, 25,000, 85,000 overdraft from 18,50,000. So in this manner, we will be able to find out the non-current liability, and this is the solution. You can see that the total assets 25,60,000, long-term debts, total debts minus trade payables, minus outstanding expense, minus bank overdraft, and the answer is 25,60,000 upon 16 lakh is equal to 1.6:1. Yes, Anushka, correct answer. And Khushi, you have given me answer 1.56. Please tell me where you have done mistake while solving. Is it calculation mistake or some other part you have missed? Please give me your answer in chat. Khushi, because you are very much near to the answer. Okay, calculation mistake. No probs, because here you people are doing a little bit fast calculation, because as we are doing on net, so you may not be having the ample of time for doing calculation. But the only thing is this, your concept must be clear, because at home you can practice with more time for doing calculations. Okay, so students, can we go for the next question? Is it clear? Can we go for the next question? Tell me. Okay, so next question, and it's a very easy question. Find out the answer fast. Again, you have to calculate total assets to debt ratio from the following information. Total assets to debt ratio. Shareholders' funds are given, total debts are given, then current liabilities are given. But no total assets are given. So by making balance sheet, you can find out total assets. By making balance sheet, you can find out total assets. Just draw a raw format of balance sheet. Need not to draw it very neatly. Just draw a format of the balance sheet. Put all the given heads and find out the missing figure, because total of the assets will be equal to the total of liability side. Total of the asset will be equal to the total of liability side. And the total of liability side, we know that three heads are there in liability side: shareholder fund, non-current liability, current liability. But here total debts is given. Total debt means current liability plus non-current liability. So need not to consider the current liability separately. So total of one side of the balance sheet is 30 lakh. 14 lakh plus 16 lakh, which is equal to 30 lakh. I'm not considering here current liability. Why? Because that is already added in total debt. So 30 lakh is the total of the balance sheet, which will be equal to the total assets. Total assets are equal to 30 lakh. Now find out the debt. Debt means again only the non-current liabilities. And total debts minus current liabilities. 16 lakh minus 4 lakh, which is equal to 12 lakh. So here is the answer. 16 lakh minus 4 lakh is equal to 12 lakh. And total assets, shareholder funds plus total debts, which is equal to 30 lakh. And now put the values in the formula and you will be having answer 30 lakh upon 12 lakh. Yes, very good student. Maximum of you have given me correct answer. Yes, Anmol, tell me why you have given incorrect. I think some calculation mistake was there on your part, or what you have not done. Write in chat, Anmol, please, so that I am able to know where you were wrong. Okay. Okay, students. Correct, Shubhangi. Next. One more question, then we'll do the next topic. Calculate total asset to debt ratio from the following information. Last question. Calculate total assets to debt ratio from the following information. Long-term borrowings, long-term provisions, trade payables 5 lakh, long-term borrowings 18 lakh, long-term provisions 2 lakh, share capital 10 lakh, SPR securities premium reserve 3 lakh, general reserve 5 lakh, and surplus that is in negative, it means it's loss. If we are adding all these figures 10 lakh, 3 lakh, 5 lakh minus 2 lakh because it is in negative form, then we are able to find out shareholder fund. Again by making balance sheet. Again by making balance sheet, you can give me answer. Just make a rough format of balance sheet. Put share capital, securities premium reserve, general reserve. The total of all these is 18 lakh minus 2 lakh. It means shareholder funds are equal to 16 lakh. Shareholder funds are equal to 16 lakh. And long-term borrowings, 18 lakh. Long-term provisions, 2 lakh. Trade payables, which is the current liability, 5 lakh. 16 lakh plus total debt. So this is the total debt. 20 plus 20 plus 5, 25. 16 lakh plus 25. 41 lakh. Total of the one side of the balance sheet is 41 lakh. So total assets are equal to 41 lakh. Total assets are equal to 41 lakh. You can see, I'm giving you 1 more minute. Whenever you are doing calculations in a time limit, it means it will make your calculation work sharp. In exam, you will be able to do calculations fastly. So try to solve, try to do the calculations. It will save lots of your time in exam if you people are able to do calculations fastly. Yes, from 3-4 students, I have got the answer. Yes, Harshita, Anushka, Khushi, Dishank, Varun Bhatia, they all are giving me answer. Just waiting for some more answers. Take 1 or 2 more minutes to solve the question. Because you all know that what is to be added and what is to be deducted. The only thing you are taking time for doing calculations. Okay, students, what we can do, that calculation part you can do on later. So you can tell me from the next question only the numerator and the denominator. In that case, you will be saving ample of time because you need not to do the calculation here. So afterwards, after the class, you can find out the final answer, because when you have put the values in the formula, then you must be able to find the answer because you are in 12th class, so you all know how to divide. So no need to do division. Okay, from the next question, just tell me the numerator value and the denominator value. Okay, so it will be more easy for you people. So this is the solution. Yes, very good. Many students have given me correct answer. 2.05:1. Very fast calculation, students. Very good. So here I am explaining that total assets to debt ratio means total asset upon debt, and debt here is given, long term provision is given, as well as long term borrowings are given. So we have to just add up 18 lakh plus 2 lakh, which is equal to 20 lakh. And total asset, need not to apply all these big formulas. I have given you one solution for all problems. And what is that solution? Format of balance sheet. Just put the values in the balance sheet and you will be able to know the total of the balance sheet of one side. If one side has come, the same total you can apply for the other side. So the total of the balance sheet will be here 41 lakh. All the liability side items are given. As you know that in liability side, three major heads are there: shareholder fund, non-current liability, current liability. All three things are given: share capital, SPR, general reserve, surplus, negative balance. These are the part of shareholder fund. Long-term borrowing, long-term provision, these are the part of non-current liability. Trade payable is a part of current liability. So just by simply adding all these things, you will be able to know the total of the liability side. Then the same total will be of the asset side. So you must be able to know the total assets, which are equal to 41 lakh upon 20 lakh is equal to 2.05:1. Okay. So the firm is in satisfactory position, good position for the firm. So next, we are not doing all these questions now. Now I'm going for the new ratio, because on daily basis at least 2 ratios we will be doing, and the rest of the question I'll be sending you as assignment, so you can solve it at home and tomorrow we can discuss. So the third ratio, I told you that under solvency ratios 4 ratios can be calculated. 2 ratios we have already done. Which 2 ratio? Debt equity ratio and total asset to debt ratio. Third ratio is proprietary ratio. Proprietary ratio indicates the proportion of total assets funded by owners or the shareholders. In total asset to debt ratio, we have explained that what is the relationship in between total asset and debt. Here we are finding out the relationship in between the proprietor's fund and the total assets. So the formula is, write down, proprietary ratio is equal to equity upon total assets. Equity upon total assets. Equity means shareholder funds. Upon total assets means same, non-current asset plus current asset. Non-current asset plus current assets. So a higher proprietary ratio is generally treated an indicator of sound financial position. Higher proprietary ratio. It means the proprietary funds are, suppose the ratio is 4:1. It means the owner's fund, proprietor's funds means owner's funds are 4 times of the current assets or non-current assets. Okay, non-current assets plus current assets. High proprietary ratio is generally treated an indicator of sound financial position from long-term point of view, because it means a large proportion of total asset is provided by equity, and hence the firm is less dependent on external source of finance. Okay, students? And low ratio means a danger signal for long-term lenders. High ratio means a large proportion of the total asset is funded by owner's fund, not by the borrowed funds. So at the time of the liquidation or the winding up of the company, when we will be selling off the assets and we will be paying the borrowed funds by selling off the assets, then the proprietors will be able to get back their money. Okay. So the ratio is equity upon total assets. Let's recall all the 3 formulas of this category. Debt equity ratio, debt upon equity. There no assets were involved. There we were finding out a relationship in between debt and equity. Second ratio, total asset to debt. Formula was total asset upon debt. There we were finding out a relation in between debt and total asset. And this is the reverse just. We are finding out the relationship between the owner's fund and the assets. How much of the assets are financed by using the owner's fund. Okay. And in total asset to debt, we know that how much of the total assets are financed by using the borrowed fund. So now the question is, calculate debt equity ratio. This is the one question in which you have to find out two ratios. In exam also this type questions come in which you have to calculate 2 or 3 ratios like debt equity ratio and 2 marks for calculating each ratio. Debt equity ratio and proprietary ratio. Okay. So first of all, debt equity ratio by using the same formula, debt upon equity. Debt upon equity. So what is the formula for debt? Just pick the items of the debt given here. 6% debentures. It is the example of debt. Loan from ICICI. Time period is not mentioned, so it will be also considered long-term loan. So 7 lakh plus 10 lakh. So debt here is 17 lakh. Now find out the shareholder fund. Shareholder fund equity share capital plus preference shares capital, which is not given, plus all reserves. General reserve 10 lakh, P&L negative balance is given. So the shareholder funds are 24 lakh. Now we have to find out debt equity ratio. We have both things, debt 17 lakh, equity 24 lakh. So the answer is 0.71:1. Now proprietary ratio. Proprietary ratio, the formula is equity upon total assets. Equity upon total assets. Equity we have already find out by adding all the shareholder fund. So equity will be using the same amount, 17 lakh. Now the question arises about the asset. So for asset, what we can do? We can add all the assets which are given. Which assets are given? Like goodwill is given, non-current assets are given, and current assets are given. So what about current assets, other non-current assets, and goodwill? Remember that if here non-current assets will be given, then there was no need to add the goodwill. Why? Because non-current asset is a whole concept and goodwill is a part of that. But here not the non-current assets are given. What is given? Other non-current assets. Other non-current assets here means other than goodwill. All other non-current assets. So we have to add goodwill here. So goodwill plus other non-current assets plus current assets will be equal to 45 lakh. Okay, will be equal to 45 lakh total assets. Just by putting the values in the formula. Proprietary ratio 24 lakh is the equity and total assets 45 lakh, and answer will be 0.53:1. Need not to write it in percentage because all these ratios are always written in the pure form of ratios. So the answer is 0.53:1. So next question, you have to do your own. Okay, students, so do it fast. 3 ratios you have to calculate and need not to find out the absolute answer. Just tell me in chat that what is your numerator and what is your denominator. Okay, first you will be doing debt equity ratio, then total asset, then proprietary ratio. All 3 ratios which we have done till today. Okay, I'm reading the question. You can start doing. Need not to find out the absolute answer. Long-term borrowings 1 lakh. Long-term provisions 50,000, current liabilities 25,000, non-current assets 1,80,000, current assets 45,000. Here you can make a rough format of balance sheet if you want. Rough format of balance sheet. To know the hidden figures. The ratio formula for debt equity ratio Debt upon equity, you all know. Formula for total asset to debt, total assets upon debt. Formula for proprietary ratio, equity upon total assets. Equity upon total assets. So first of all, you have to find out debt here. Debt. So long-term provisions and long-term borrowings are given here. Long-term provisions and long-term borrowings are given here to know the debt. Then equity. Find out the balance sheet. Make the balance sheet to know the equity. Find out the total of the assets. 180 plus 45. 2,25,000 is the total assets. And out of that 225, deduct 175, which is the total of debt. 225 minus 175. Yes, very good. Yes, students. 1 more minute I am giving you. Total assets are equal to 225, which is already, you can see that this question has come in board examination, CBSE examination in 2014 as a 4-marker question. So such type of questions come in board where you are finding out 2-3 ratios, not only the 1 ratio. Proprietary ratio, again the equity upon total assets. Equity means whatever the figures or items you are finding out in 1 ratio, you may use it, you will be using those items for the other ratios. Like equity you have find out in the first ratio. On debt also you have find out in the first ratio. So both of these items can be used in part B and part C. There you need not to find out all these again and again. Once you have find out one figure, that can be used for the further ratios too. I told you if calculations are not being possible, then you can just do till the numerator and denominator. Find out the values of numerator for each formula and the denominator of each formula. Okay, so here now I'm sharing the answer as time left is very less. So you can see the answer. The debt equity ratio. Here you can see that the long formulas are given for finding out shareholder funds. I have told you very easy thing, that is just to make the balance sheet. For every hidden figure, just to make the